Module 4, Financial Matters. Balancing income and expenses. The director is responsible for managing the finances of the center and obtaining funding. The director prepares a budget by estimating how much the program will cost, determining how much income will be available, and seeking more income to equal expenditures, adjusting expenditures to equal income, or doing both. So obviously the ideal goal here is to make sure you come out in the green rather than the red when you're balancing all of these different budgets. Estimating costs. Some factors that influence the total amount of money spent by a center can be the following. So the number, the ages, and the special needs of children enrolled. This could include equipment or special needs equipment. The teacher to child ratio, so how many staff you're going to be required to have per child. Staff training. So with the new step up to quality, there's going to be a great deal of training required. Type and location of building. Are you in the suburb? Are you in downtown? And what are the costs involved there? Amount of equipment already owned or available. Do you have all brand new equipment, or are you possibly getting donations or even leasing? Type of program and services provided. Are you offering just half-day programs, or are you offering full day, after school, before school? The section of the country in which center is located. This is important because obviously a center in California is going to have very different expenses than a center in Maine. General economic conditions, how the economy is doing is going to have an impact on your expenses. The amount and type of in-kind contributions. So when we talk about costs and needs, costs must be estimated based upon the needs and the goals of the program. First, budget consideration should be program goals and objectives instead of available dollars. So you must stay true to what your program's goals and objectives are, even if that does mean spending a little extra money. Consider factors that will determine money spent. So be wise about how you're spending money. If you have families that can donate equipment or supplies, take advantage of those situations so that can save you money in the long run. Budgets. So that we have two different types of budgets. The first one is called a startup, and the second one is the operating. So with a startup budget, this consists of all the expenses that are going to be incurred by starting the center. Some of these can be the building expense, a down payment, or if you're going to renovate an existing building. Next is purchasing new equipment or using equipment that has been used or donated. Cost of publicizing the center. So marketing can cost quite a bit in the beginning. Telephone utilities deposit. So you're going to have deposits on all these different resources as you get started. Salaries for additional personnel needed to assist the director. The median cost of the startup is typically around $48,500. This is just the average though. When we talk about operating budgets, this consists of an income and expense plan for 1 year. This is used when the centers enroll children and begin the program. Budget may operate on a fiscal year, which typically is January 1 to December 31st, or you can do an operating year, which is typically September 1st to August 31st. There are a number of categories when we talk about budgets. The first one is personnel. So as you can see, this is a big chunk. This is typically about 70%. So the human resources part of your budget is going to be very expensive, and you also want to make sure you're spending enough to get quality staff. Facility or utilities is typically 10%, but this may vary based on the location, based on the part of the country, and based on the type of building. Equipment, 5%. Supplies, 3%. And supplies is probably the best way to save money as far as getting donations or having parents even send in supplies you might need. Food, 3%. This is going to vary depending on what type of program you have. Do you serve lunch or do you serve snacks? Other, 9%. These percentages will differ depending on the program and then your geographical area. Some additional expenses and other financial responsibilities. So the next part we're going to talk about are some things that may cost over and above your typical budgets. Some typical ones might be consultants, if you have someone coming in to, say, renovate, or an architect coming in. Equipment and supplies, if you have, for example, a child with special needs, you're going to need some extra different some different type of equipment, for example, a J seat, and those can be very costly. Transportation, are you going to have transportation in your program? Or that may be a good marketing tool, however, it will cost money. Communication, this can be mailers, flyers, some marketing materials, staff training, insurance, postage, auditing, and then licensing. Some other financial responsibilities might include designing budget systems, managing the cash flow, ordering goods and services, and simply paying the bills.